What's going on, YouTube? I'm here doing another tutorial for Reason. You have to excuse me, it's kind of late, but I will try to keep things moving along. I'm going to show you guys how to load up samples into the NNXT. So anyway, let's load up a sample here. I've got a nice little sample I took from vinyl. So we're going to go with that. What I like to do is, if you click on the sample here in NNXT, you can move it around on the keys. You want it all the way to the left. I go left to right. You should know that the sample load section, every time you're loading an individual sample, you want to load it here, not over here. This is a patch load sample. Patch load button, sorry. So now that we've got this loaded up, you can either grab the little tabs here, or you can adjust the high key, low key. But basically you want to get it to just one. See, there would be two, there's one. So you want it real short, you want it just on the first key. And I'm going to click over here to the first pad bank. Now this right here, this is your root key, right? So you want to make your root key, your root is basically what note you're assigning this sample to. We don't want it in the middle there, we want it all the way at the bottom. So let's go over here to the root key and slide it all the way down. So now when you're on, either if you're on a keyboard, it'll be the first most left key on the keyboard. On pads like this, it'll be control bank A, pad bank A, and then it will be pad number 1. So there we've got that. That's our little sample. And you'll notice it still plays. It plays out the entire length. Let's say we want to make this 2 pads, right? We want to make it so we can play back and forth between the two. Let's, what we're going to do is, if you come over here, and you have to make sure that your sample is selected. So you've got your sample selected. We're going to turn the amp envelope release all the way up on that guy, so that when we hit him, he just plays. And you don't have to hold it down. Right. So now you can hear them all stacking up. Not very desirable. You don't really want this. So we will drop the polyphony, which is how many notes or samples will play all at once, down to 1, and that's under the group. That we'll get into groups in a little bit. This is the first sound within your first group. So we've got the release all the way up, the group down, polyphony down to 1. So now what we have is kind of the classic MPC sound, where you can cut the note off by hitting it again, which is cool. And let me turn this up. I can't really hear it too well, so we are going to raise the amp envelope, and you got to make sure you're selected again, or else nothing will happen. So let's turn them up. That's good. But we want to cut that in half. Let's make that 2 pads, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of this sample. You've got your start and your end here. Let's take the end down to, I'm going to guess, since we're cutting it in half, maybe 50, maybe a little more than 50%. So let's try like around 50 and hear it. No, it's a little short. Oh wait, well, let's see. No, that was a little long actually. We want it to Okay, so that is a little long still. So what I'm doing is I'm just hitting the pad and listening. I want it to sound natural. A good way to find this out is to play it. And that's right where you so you can hear where you want it to end. So now let's load up another one. Sorry, the same thing. We're going to load up the same exact sound. Pops in right below it. And look, it popped it right up to here, where the other one was. So let's drag him down. But instead of having him on the same note, we want that guy on this different note. And again, drag it down so it's only one of our pads or keys. And theoretically that should be pad 2 or key 2 on your keyboard or MPD, MPC, whatever. So now they're in the same group, so the polyphony is still 1, but you still want to turn the release up on this guy. The release needs to be up, remember, so that it will play all the way out. Oh, and we haven't set our root key. That's what happens when you don't set your root key. It sounds really slow. There we go. So now that's pad 2. But now it still sounds like pad 1, but longer. So let's shorten that guy up. Let's actually start it about halfway through so we can get the second half of that sample. Let's take the start time to where the end of the first one cut off. So we cut off the other one at 21.6. Let's start the other one at 21.6. So now the second pad should sound like the second half of the sample. Yeah, turn up the volume. Pad 1, pad 2. And you can see how you can get real creative with that. It kind of makes it fun to mess around with the MPD because you can really get interactive with it. Anyway, thank you, and I will see you next video.